This is the Mainland City Park, southeast of Klamath Falls. If you're ready to explore more of Oregon, come on along. South from Bend, we're going first to Lava Lands Visitor Center, Lava River Cave, Sun River, Lava Cast Forest, LaPine State Recreation Area, Paulina Lake, East Lake, Red Hill, China Hat, South Ice Cave, and LaPine. Lava Lands has an interesting visitor center. Plus, you can drive to the top of this old volcano and look into the crater. Further south, you can rent a lantern and walk over a mile back under Highway 97 in the Lava River Cave. It's really a big cave. The ceiling must be about 20 feet high. When you finally get to the end of it, it's full of sand clear up to the top. I went a short distance into the mouth of this cave, and all I had with me was a flashlight. It's so dark inside that you can see a flashlight really doesn't do that much good. Southeast from LaPine, we'll visit my favorite part of Oregon. Here we'll see Big Hole, Hole in the Ground, Fremont, Fort Rock State Monument, the Harrison Place, Devil's Garden, Big Juniper, Derrick Cave and the west end of Devil's Garden, Derrick Ranch, Crack in the Ground, Fossil Lake and the Sand Dunes, the Lost Forest, Christmas Valley, Table Rock, Silver Lake, the town of Silver Lake, Anna Reservoir, the town of Summer Lake and its hot springs, then Paisley.
My name's Phil Wagner.
Phil Wagner. And you want to tell me a little bit about what you know about Fremont here?
Well, when we moved here, Fremont was about 4 feet high. There was a blacksmith shop, a lot of square nails. We were cleaning up boards and pieces, you know, getting it ready so that we could farm or live there.
Just foundations is all.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Creamery, remnants of the general store, but nothing was above sagebrush at all. It had just slowly caved in. And so it was interesting. It really was. We found a lot of tools and parts and stuff scattered over the ground out here where the old homestead shacks had been. People would come after the homesteaders left or blew out. People would come and take away the whole building. You know, use it for a chicken house, use it for a home, add it onto their home. You need to get some pictures of the old Grange down in Fort Rock. That's about 4 or 5 different buildings all pulled together.
Oh, it is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And you can see it right from the outside. I mean, the siding doesn't go the same direction. And they finally put a metal roof on it about 3 years ago, but it was just all these old buildings towed
Just
in.
scraps they'd picked up. Now, what did you say was the reason why people left Fremont?
From what we've been told and what little we've read, sometime between like 1910 and 1920, they had just dry
No rain.
weather conditions, no rain, and they just lost their crops. Of course, they didn't have wells for irrigation or anything like that. So, you know, they couldn't feed the cows, they couldn't feed the kids, they had to go somewhere and find work.
Okay. That's
And a
what
lot of
happened.
them hid stuff in the walls of their homestead houses. And when we've torn down a couple different ones, we've found like grinding wheels, lanterns, blacksmith chains. Our old home place, 7 miles east of Fort Rock, when we tore a building down there, people were cutting our fences and going in to dig around it, you know, during the crazes with the metal detectors and stuff like that. We finally realized if we didn't tear the building down, it would continue to attract people, and the cows get out when they cut the fence. So,
oh my!
When we tore the building down, we found an incredible amount of stuff in there, and a lot of it was labeled. A man's name called Frank Miller out of Bend, and there were like, I think at one chain was 30 feet long, and it was the old blacksmith chain. They'd taken a piece of metal bar, heated it and bent it, and then blacksmith fused it together. They get it red hot and hammer it, and it just melts itself together, and that's how they made the chain.
Wow.
Wouldn't have been real strong to use nowadays, you know, but back then, of course, it was more than strong enough to handle all their equipment. Pretty amazing.
The Devil's Garden is an interesting place, a circle of desert 2 miles across, completely encircled by an ancient lava flow. The only way in is to cross over it. 2 miles north of Fort Rock Monument, you turn to the right, then left. I couldn't find the first turnoff, so stayed on the main road till I came to the Y, then went right. Then right again when you get to the lava flow, past the campground to the entrance. After crossing the lava flow, I only went to the Foster Ranch, and then went a ways on the South Rim Road. A friend of mine somehow got in through the Little Garden, but he hit bottom on his transmission a few times and barely made it through into the East Garden, but then he went out on the south end. Once inside, this is about the same as all the rest of the desert. The government has put in watering tanks for the desert animals that live here from the well at Foster Ranch. The Foster Ranch was built years ago and abandoned. Mr. Foster must have liked seclusion. You wouldn't have many salesmen bothering you out here, because you have to bounce over the top of a lava flow to get into this peaceful place. Buck Butte in the background is inside the ring of lava. There's a road that goes clear around it. This is really a big place, and it's completely cut off from the rest of the world by lava. In case you're thinking of coming here, I'd like to take you along for about 1 minute of the 2.5-minute drive out of here. Of all the places that I've been in Oregon, this is probably about the worst road I've ever driven. I would recommend a motorcycle, although a pickup or a Jeep can make it if you don't mind a few scrapes, because you have to climb and dodge around lava fissures and cracks for about a half a mile. You can see by the road over the lava pile this is a good endurance test for any vehicle. I'm sure no regular automobile could make it without tearing a hole in the oil pan or something serious. It's about a 10-mile walk back if you get stranded, so this is not a recommended tourist trip, except for those who like challenges. About a half-mile to the west of the entrance to Devil's Garden is this dry camping area. Now we'll look at an extra big juniper tree and then go inside the Derrick cave over on the east side of this place. The Lost Forest is one of God's many mysteries. There aren't any other pine forests within 40 miles of here, yet these are growing in a desert that some years only gets 5 inches of rain. Now let's go south from LaPine to Gilchrist, Crescent, Chemult, Beaver Marsh, Diamond Lake Junction, Sand Creek, Klamath Marsh, Fuego, Kirk, Collier State Park Logging Museum, Chiloquin, Braymill, Sprague River, Claymoya Casino, Lobert, Modoc Point, Upper Klamath Lake, Algoma, and Klamath Falls. Come on along again next time as we explore more of Oregon.